Tough game. Strangely officiated. We've not had a game like that this year, I'll say it, so you don't have to. Lots of touch fouls were called. That's never happened to that extent this year. Cincinnati among the national leaders, 11th in the country in fewest fouls committed. Got you for 23 fouls today. Lots of foul trouble in the first half, and yet never really threatened, control the game throughout.
Yeah, other than our turnovers, which I thought was a result of their physicality that went uncalled. But anyway, the guys did what they had to do. Obviously, the story of the game was Quadri Moore in the first half with Kyle Washington with the 2 early fouls. Jacob Evans with 2 early. Gary had 1. And Quadri just played the game of his career. You know, just couldn't be happier for him. Just an awesome performance by him. His physicality, I thought, on the glass was solid. Wasn't just his shot making. He had 6 defensive rebounds, tied for our lead with Gary in the rebounding. So just a great game by him. And like I said, to Swin Cash from CBS did the game today. You know, so many kids this day and age in college basketball transfer 500, 600, 700 a year. And very few stay when they don't start, or some stay when some leave if they're not the best player. And so many of these kids are going to go, like Terrence Davis is here today. It was a great Bearcat, but didn't play much for us, but played 10 years in Europe, and made great money. He's a wildly successful businessman back home here in New Orleans. But he stayed. He played his 2 years. He came off the bench, stayed an extra year, got his degree, helped us practice. You know, it's from an era of where you didn't just quit, give me my ball and go home if I'm not the best player. Which is so sad, because it's everything against what education's about. Because at the end of the day, Quadri Moore's not playing in the NBA, and probably most of our guys aren't. But learning how to deal with coming off the bench, learning how to deal and being part of the team, and being ready and not quitting and just going home and looking for the easiest path is what college is about. That's college is supposed to be hard, so you grow up, so you can be a man and hold a job and be a productive person. But so many kids, they just want everything handed to them this day and age. I know, and you and I are starting to sound, we're shaking our heads, which means, Terry, we've both gotten old. That's right. Because Terry and I went to school together, and we didn't think this way, Dan, in 1992. That's right. But when you get older and you have children, you know, these are things you understand what your job's all about. And you got a chance to work with Quadri because he doesn't quit on you. And no matter how much he plays, he's going to get his degree, and that's the most important thing.
Staying along those lines, ECU game, Troy was sick, and I talked to you about, are you prepared to put Justin Jennifer in? And you said, Terry, I'm a big believer in next man up. The reason that people have scholarships at UC is because they play. They don't have scholarships to sit on the bench. The reason that they're on the bench is because there's a first-team all-conference player, preseason player of the year in front of you. You had 3 starters in foul trouble. They come out, but yet it's the bench that increased the lead. How important is it to have that kind of quality depth going against each other in practice where every day is a war?
Well, you see that because you're at practice and you understand how important Kane Broom is to our team.
Absolutely.
And what he's done, what he dismantles our starters, breaks them down every day. He and Justin and Jaron, how important they are. It makes your team better. You know, our starting 5, if they get beat frequently in practice, anytime they're not ready because the other guys are so solid. And if you're going to be a real team, you got to win in different ways. And I always say this as a coach, you got to have answers, you know. And, you know, if you score in the 50s, you're going to be life and death. You get 78, you're going to be home free. We get 78 tonight because we get 14 off the bench from Quadri. You get 7 from Trey. You get 4 from Jaron. You get 25 points off the bench. You get 25 off the bench with the starting 5 that we have, you're probably going to be okay. But just different guys stepping up. I thought it was you know, you can win in a lot of ways. A lot of things went on today. It was, like Dan said, unusually called game. From the outset, from when Gary got fouled on the first layup. But such is life on the road. You deal with it, you find a way to win, and you get home and get ready for the next one.
You know this. Athletes have many rituals. They're very superstitious. you yourself probably have some things where you'd like to see on a consistent basis from a practice standpoint. This is the second time that the flight schedule has been readjusted. Instead of leaving at 3, it's supposed to leave at 8. We didn't leave until 9:30 last night. You took your team to Montgomery and had some food. But your normal time where you get into the hotel and have a scouting report and making sure the guys are getting all the fluids that they need and getting the rest that they need. And these challenges are popping up. But yet you're facing them and you're attacking them head on. You may not play with the precision that you have, but you're still walking away victorious. What does that say about your team?
Well, you got some mature guys. I've said this, and Dan has, even from the first. We did a preview television show about the maturity of some of the guys on this team and how they can handle different situations. I think Kyle Washington, although he didn't have his best day, he's really changed our team because he's an infusion of life.
Yes,
he's never-ending energy. He loves basketball. You cannot not be ready around him. He'll grab you and shake you.
Yeah.
And everybody needs a guy like that, whether it was Ray Lewis with the Baltimore Ravens back when they were great, or whomever with different teams. You got to have a guy like that, and we really needed that because Troy and Gary can be laid back at times, even Jacob. So our chemistry is really good, and thank goodness for the Montgomery Inn, because every time our charter company puts us in the trick bag, we stop off Buttermilk Pike and go to hit the Fort Mitchell Montgomery Inn, and I think the guys play better when they eat there.
Our courtside engineer Jenny today had to carefully monitor the crowd microphone because it sounded like a home game.
It was
the Rally Cats did a great job.
Well, now you got the Rally Cats, and then you got the I think we got the Panhandle Bearcats. They all everybody over in Destin came over today. I think. But it's down there in the Florida, beating the winners down in Florida. I don't know how it's not too far across Highway 10 for them. So, and then you get the Jacob Evans contingent. So between the boosters that came on the plane with us, the Panhandle Bearcats, Jacob Evans people, and then the Rally Cats, it was definitely on because I don't know if you could see, Dan, they're even underneath you. Even more people that turn this into a nice weekend. So it's huge. I think it really excites the players to be a part. It makes them feel like they owe the people. They feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves. And that's why when you get a great home crowd, it matters. It helps recruiting. Like something like people, if a recruit is watching this game and he sees, wow, man, they got fans in New Orleans. It all helps. It helps you win today. It helps recruiting, and trust me, we appreciate it.
Going into, we'll let you get out of here, but going into crosstown shootout, your first thoughts?
We need to win. I'm sick of Danny Fortson and Kenyon and them guys calling me. Big Danny came to talk to the team last year, motivational talk for the NCAA tournament. His first 5 minutes were, we can't lose to Xavier anymore. So we played them 2 months ago, Dan. So we do. Time to win the game. I tell the guys, that there's nothing to talk about. You got to win the game. We don't have a player that's won the game. Obviously our last home game, unfortunately I wasn't able to coach. We lost a close one at the buzzer. We don't have a guy in uniform that's won the game, Terry. The only guys that have won that game are coaches, and we don't matter. We're not playing. So.
Down to your left is 2-0.
Yeah. He's not in uniform anymore.
Yeah, I'm not in uniform.
All right, Coach. Congrats on the win. Again, thanks for trekking up to our broadcast location here at Tulane. We appreciate it.
I need the exercise. Thanks, guys.
All right, Cincinnati makes it 10 straight. Cats are 17-2 overall, 7-0 in the league as they win in New Orleans 78-61. We'll take a timeout. Our post-game coverage will continue in just a moment on 7-0.